Welcome to Jazz Time. JazzTime.com is an online store that buys, sells, trades authentic luxury watches. We make these videos so our customers can easily choose the best watch for themselves in the comfort of their own home. If you would like to know the price, simply click on the link in the description below. If you enjoy our videos, we'd greatly appreciate it if you would buy a watch at JazzTime.com, which is the reason why I'm making this video on a Saturday afternoon while you're sitting at home watching this video. So if you'd like to support us, or if you'd like to get this watch at the lowest price anywhere online, please go to jazztime.com. That's JAZTIME.com. Today I'm going to be reviewing the Rolex Deepsea and doing a comparison between the Deepsea Blue Old and the Deepsea Blue New, reference 116660D Blue versus Rolex Deepsea 126660D Blue on the right. So the reference on the left is 116660D Blue, and the one on the right is a reference 126660D Blue. I'm going to talk to you guys about the bezel, the dial, the bracelet, the movement, try it on, and then give you my thoughts. So let's dive right in and talk about the first thing. It uses a 44mm Oyster steel case, and that's from my thumb to my index finger. This is the largest watch that Rolex makes. It's the Deepsea, and if you look at the case of them, they're almost identical. Now, they do have a slight difference, which I'm going to show you, which is the purpose of this review. If you look at them, it's ever so slight, and I want to just kind of hold it like side by side for you to see. Do you notice something about the case here? On the left is the older 116660, and on the right is the 126660. Now, I'm not sure if you can see it. I'm trying to hold it the best I can, but on the left, the bracelet is actually a little bit skinnier, and the one on the right, the newer version, is a little bit thicker. And that means that if you look at the way that the lugs are, on the new one on the right, it's actually going to be wider and skinnier, and on the left it's going to be a little bit fatter. Now let me show you what I mean. I actually brought my calipers along here so that we could get an actual measurement. So if we measure, we actually have 20.6 here. So that's the distance across going from lug to lug, 20.6. Remember that number because we're about to test it on this this other one here. Now you see 20.6 actually won't even fit on this one, so I have to open it up a little bit more, and it's gotten shoot. Okay, and it's actually, take a look at that. It's actually 21.37. So the numbers don't lie, even though if you can't see that with your naked eye using this video. The one on the left, the older version, is 20.6, and the one on the right is 21.4. It's about 1 millimeter difference. You might not think that's that much, and if you don't, then buy the old one because it's cheaper. But if you do, then you might want to buy the newer one. And that also means that the bracelet, which is what we're going to get to next, the bracelet on the right for the 126660 is a bit larger. Okay, now if you look at the links, what I'm going to show you, actually the main thing that has changed between the older version and the newer version is actually the bracelet. Now I'm going to hold it side by side so that you can see, and I'll just tell you that the older version, 116660, the bracelet tapers more, as in it's wide at the top and it gets skinny at the bottom. And if you see them side by side, you'll know what I mean. Do you see that? Now remember, on the left we said it was 20.6, right, at the very top, and on the newer Deepsea Blue it was 21.4. It was a 1 millimeter difference, or a 5% difference if you look at it that way. But if you look at how it tapers, look at the older version, it tapers down much skinnier, not much skinnier, but a little bit skinnier. And I'm going to give you an exact value for that. So let's take our calipers here and measure that, and it's actually, as let's see what it says. It says 15.5. You see that 15.5 at the bottom. So it goes from 20.6 to 15.5. Now, if you look at the newer Deepsea is going to have, let's see what that goes at. You see that? It goes down to 16.9, which is basically 17. So from the top, it goes from 21.4 to 17 at the bottom. And so that means the tapering, percentage-wise, is much less on the newer Deepsea. They made the bracelet a little bit fatter. Now moving on to the buckle, The now, that depends on which one you like. I mean, if you would like the bracelet to be skinnier, then you actually have to go with the older version. If you like the bracelet to be fatter, you have to go with the newer version. And both of are available at jazztime.com. Now, if you look at the bracelet is also, the buckle is actually the same. They're both using this they call it a Rolex Glide Lock extension system, and it changes the size by 20 millimeters. So you simply lift up right here, and you push in right like such, and then you can close the top. They both use the same system. Although if you look at the actual buckle itself, and I'm holding it side by side, it almost looks the same, and actually you really can't tell. I mean, but if we actually measure the size of it, then you'll notice that it's slightly different. Now, why don't we do that right now? It's 17.5 on the older Deepsea, and let's take a look at what it is on the newer Deepsea. 17.5 versus 19. So it's actually much thicker. It's actually like 1.5 millimeters. Even though you can't see what 1.5 millimeters that clearly with your naked eye, it's there. So if you want the thicker buckle, then you got to go with that, with a newer Deepsea. But if you look at the way that the Glide Lock extension works, it basically all works the same. You simply pull up there, push it in, and then you close the top. That's how it works. Okay, so now I said I would talk to you about all the parts, and let's move on to the movement now. Now the movement on the older Deepsea, they both are still having a depth rating of 3,900 meters or 12,800 feet, as you can see from the back of I'm holding the older one right now. The newer one actually says the same thing. You can't tell what it looks like. You can't tell by looking at the back of it. It actually all looks the same. But the older movement, or the older watch, the 116660, has a 3135 caliber movement, and it's been around for quite some time, like 30 years. So it's tried, tested, and we all know that it works because Rolex has been using it for like 30 years. Okay, but the newer movement on the 126660 right here, which of course you can't see as well, it uses a caliber 3235, which is a brand new movement, and it looks. If you actually look at it under the loupe and you've had the chance to take off the case back and look at it, it actually looks a bit more modern, and it has a longer power reserve of 70 hours. So that might be a reason if you want to upgrade, but if you don't really care, I mean, functionally, it really makes no difference, to be honest. So, I mean, I've sold both of these watches. I've worn both of these watches. They're both excellent watches. You really can't tell much of a difference. The difference I'm telling you are very minor. Now, I said to talk to you about the bezel and the dial. Now the bezel is actually exactly the same. It's using a ceramic unidirectional rotatable 60-minute graduated scratch resistant Cerachrome insert in ceramic. Both of them, they're identical, so there's not much to talk about there. And the crystal, of course, it's a domed 5.5 millimeter thick scratch resistant sapphire on both of them, and that has not changed either. So and if you look at the dial, actually trying to move these hands earlier for you, this one is the James Cameron Deepsea blue, so it has this very cool gradient blue. And if if you ask me, if you're already going to spend this kind of money on a Deepsea, you might as well get this colored one that's going to have blue on it. If you're considering like a Deepsea, you're already spending like tons of money on it, might as well get the blue added to it. I don't see why not. And I really like that both of them have this blue right there, or this green that says Deepsea. I'll point out another little thing, which is why you're watching this video. But before I do, I gotta tell you, if you're about to buy this watch and you don't buy it from jazztime.com and you watch my video, I'm gonna be really upset, because I'm sitting here on a Saturday afternoon, doing this video, and it takes a lot of effort. So I would really appreciate it if you support us by actually buying a watch from jazztime.com, which is why I'm making this video. It doesn't make itself, so I really appreciate it if you buy one. Now take a look here. I'm going to show you something else, only for Jazz Time YouTube watchers, subscribers. Look at the bottom where it says Swiss made. That's one of the way that you could tell. You see how it says Swiss made right there? Now look on the right. The newer version, it says Swiss crown made. Yes. That's why you should watch our videos, and that's why you should actually buy a watch at jazztime.com. If you think I know what I'm talking about, you should see my prices. They're even better. Okay, so aside from that, the dial is pretty much the same, but on the newer one, it says Swiss Rolex made, and that's what distinguishes it. Okay, now, cool. I said I would try this on and give you my thoughts, and I'm going to try it on. Now, I got to be honest, I cannot really even tell the difference when unless I see them side by side. So if I was on a little bit of a budget, I probably would buy, this is the older version right here. And I would probably just stick with the older version because it's a bit cheaper and you really cannot tell any difference. That's one of the good things about this watch. I really like the Deepsea. It's very rugged. It's the biggest watch that Rolex make. It's thick. What I forgot to mention is thick. So, you know, be prepared for a big watch. Now, if you're a big guy, you know, the Deepsea could be for you. Now, I'm going to show you what the newer version looks like on my wrist. I'm an average man, but of course above average intelligence, as you obviously can hear. But the watch itself, you know, it has a thicker bracelet. It might look a little bit more proportioned, if I'm being honest, but it is a pretty thick watch, you know, and the bracelet being thick like this actually even makes it even thicker. So I'm going to hold them side by side, and if you look at them, you know, it's really hard to tell. They both look almost like perfectly, almost the same, you know. And even if you look at the bracelet, I mean, you really have to have them side by side. So I don't know, it depends on you, your budget, you know, what's available. And if you want to buy it, please go to jazztime.com, JAZTIME.com.
If you want to find out more about the watch you just saw in the video, you can just click below on Show More to see the full description. Then you can check the link next to Model as seen in video, click on it, and you will get to the proper page where you can see all the details. If you're watching on a mobile phone, you have to click on the arrow down on the right hand side below the video to see the full description. If you like this video, please give us a thumbs up. If you would like to share this video with your friends, you can use the share button below and share it on any platform you like. If you have questions, constructive feedback, want to tell us about some mistakes or misspeaks, just write a comment below. If you want to see more videos like this, you should subscribe to our channel and visit our channel page where you can find all the videos. And if you're interested in a specific watch brand, you can check out our playlists. If you want to check the price for a watch or want to buy one, remember at jazztime.com you always get a steep discount, so you should check the prices with us. If you want to know the price for a specific watch, just go to Google, type in JazzTime, plus the brand, model, and the details you're interested in, and Google will find the right page for you. Thank you for watching.